Just a quick introduction. My name is Parker. I'm the Health and Wellbeing Specialist in Risk Services. So I make workshops for the campus and also for departments. I run health coaching groups and the wellness challenges, just any programming to help support the health and well-being of faculty and staff here at UC Santa Cruz. So today we will be talking about stress management, but this is part of the Wellness in Action series. So we'll share some ideas today. You can try a couple out at home, and in 2 weeks we'll meet back together. You can share how things went, ask questions of each other, and share any new ideas that come up. We are gathered to talk about stress management. Times can feel a little uncertain and unpredictable, especially nowadays. So this will explore some ideas, and it's not about eliminating stress altogether, but it's about finding some new things that you feel might fit into your life to help alleviate and cope with some of that stress. Because there's, of course, budgetary concerns here at work. Maybe your department has been restructured a little bit, or you have some new responsibilities added on. And then, of course, there's our personal lives and everything else happening in the world. So we will talk about a few different areas and see what might work for you. Because when it comes with times of uncertainty, we want to be able to establish some sort of control. So we'll talk about how taking pauses and practicing emotional flexibility, and also how processing stress, creating habits and routines can all help with easing stress and developing a little bit more peace of mind. And my question of the day for you is, what is one of your early warning signs for stress? And what's one small thing that you can take, or one small action you can take when you start to notice it? So as we know, stress activates your nervous system, and your brain is just constantly scanning for problems and looking for patterns, just trying to keep you safe. But in times of uncertainty, then that means that there's not necessarily anything to fall back on. You maybe don't have any past experiences that can help you decide on where to move forward. So that can keep the stress response switched on a little bit longer than usual. And when that happens, it could impact sleep and focus, decision making, mood, energy, and maybe even immune function. So if you find yourself getting sick more often than usual, that might be the case. In times of stress, you might be a little bit more hyper focused on things that feel urgent or maybe emotionally threatening, or start imagining worst case scenarios and preparing for things that might go wrong. But leading into these kind of thoughts can sometimes feel productive because you're preparing or problem solving. But if there's nothing productive coming from it, it may, in fact, make it harder to think positively and flexibly and creatively to actually solve any of the problems that might be coming up. So if thoughts like this start to feel repetitive or overwhelming, that could be a clue to do a little bit of a reset. So think about your early signs for stress. Maybe you're getting more headaches or having trouble sleeping, or on emotional level, maybe you might withdraw a little bit more or have a low mood. Whatever it is, creating awareness is the first step, and then you can figure out what you want to do next. And this is important because your body does need time to process and to recover from stress. So this gives you an opportunity to come back to baseline, and additionally, you have space to fill your cup back up. But when it comes to stress management, it's not one size fits all. So we'll again talk about some ideas that you might find more useful to fit into your routine and your lifestyle. So first of all, when it comes to stress, you can ask yourself, what is it that I can control? So first take a pause and maybe take a really deep breath and give yourself at least a few seconds of space to think about the next steps that you want to take. For instance, you could choose how you want to respond, and you can also help to guide your thoughts and your self-talk. You can have the power to change that, which can be really empowering. You can also determine the effort that you want to put into the issue, the preparation that you want to put in. You can also set boundaries around the time that you have, your energy, and what you want to say yes to. So after, the next step is to take action where you can. We may not be able to take action in for all of the things, but start with problem solving the next steps if you can, instead of trying to decide how to solve everything all at once. This can be a little bit overwhelming and things might change along the way anyway. If it's an option, ask for help. You don't have to do it all on your own. And if that option is available, you can also think about it as you're improving your efficiency too by asking for help. And remember that just because you are thinking certain thoughts, that doesn't mean that they're true or that they're grounded in reality or that they can't change. Um, we can take steps to interrupt those unhelpful thoughts, and we'll talk about how to redirect them soon. But for everything else, practice accepting the things that you can't control and try your best to release them. So, for instance, you can't control what other people feel, the emotions they have, the choices that they make. You also can't change the past or affect every single possible outcome in the future. And try your best to also release those anxieties if they're projections about the future or uncertainty around that. But these all take practice and they do get easier over time. So if figuring out what to do and letting go is hard now, don't place a lot of pressure on yourself to be perfect because it'll get easier the more you try it out. So as with all practice, when you do practice something, you tend to get better. So the more you do it, your brain is actually learning, and every next time it makes it much easier to produce that same action. So with stress, you want to interrupt that stress response pattern. One of the ways that you can do this is by practicing emotional flexibility. And the first step is acknowledging that you maybe feel stressed instead of trying to suppress that stress or to ignore that you're feeling stressed. The acceptance of feelings allows your body to begin to start processing them. But if you are unsure about what exactly you're feeling, you can take a close look at the feelings wheel. And there's an example of a portion on the slide. And these can help you identify what's going on or put a more specific name to what you're feeling. And studies show that putting a specific name, identifying what's going on, can help individuals address and process their feelings more successfully. And I'll put one of these in the resources that I'll send out later. Sometimes we might get caught up thinking about what'll happen in the future, but we also can't predict the future. And so if we get stuck in these thoughts, it's not necessarily productive and it takes us out of being in the present. So in those moments, what you can do is take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is happening right now in this moment, and what can I do to be more present? But another thing, if there is a constant state of worry going on, um, one option is to try scheduling time to worry. I know that may sound a little bit of a new idea, but this provides your brain with a chance to shuffle through all of those thoughts that are circling around. And at the end of the allotted time, maybe 10 minutes, that timer goes off, take a deep breath, and then transition into the next activity. Or another thing you can try is shifting your mindset by reframing. This can help you look at the thoughts more constructively or the problems in a more positive way. And so, for instance, you might challenge stressful thoughts by asking things like, what's something that I can learn from this situation? Or maybe, how is this instance helping me grow as a person? Maybe the problem that you're facing is really difficult. And so you can acknowledge, accept that there is a problem that you're working through, but also reassure yourself that ultimately you'll figure it out. So if you might start to feel stuck, you can try one of these to start processing and move past the emotions. Next, there are many forms of mindfulness, but if you want to take a little bit of an active approach to processing stress, journaling can be a great tool to try. It helps us to develop and also practice mindfulness. You can write it down on a piece of paper, or you can use a computer, your notes app, or even record a voice memo. But just choosing a place that you define as a safe place where you can put everything down and process feelings there. If you have, again, a bunch of thoughts in your brain that are taking up and creating noise, one thing you might try is called a brain dump. So you set a timer, maybe start with like 5 or 10 minutes, and just write everything down on the paper from your brain in a stream of consciousness, unedited. And this can be a really great way to let go of any nagging or lingering thoughts. And it can be really helpful right before you go to bed. And if you need to go back to it again in the morning, then you have everything there. Maybe you might even keep a notebook on the side of your bed in case anything pops up in the middle of the night too. Another option is just listing out everything that's stressing. You might even write it into a letter that you never send. And the reason being is that when you write things down on paper, it creates that mind to body connection, a different level of processing. And you also can shut the notebook or tear up the letter and physically let go of those feelings. Also, you might try to shift your perspective into a different direction. And so, one way to do this is asking yourself what might happen if everything were to go right. So, we're kind of flipping the script there. Or you might ask yourself, how would you support your best friend if they were trying to work through this? And then again, turn it around and give yourself that same support and that same positive sort of self-talk. Trying to shift yourself into a more positive mindset can help refocus your brain as well and attunes it to finding more ways to help things go well. And that's because your brain wants to be right. So if you are looking on the bright side of things, it'll prime your brain to scan your environment and choose more things to help everything go well. Now, uncertainty can feel disordered and chaotic depending on what's going on. Rhythmic patterns like doing breathing exercises can help to calm the nervous system, and it can even help to lower the heart rate as well. Taking a pause and taking a really deep breath, I've mentioned that a few times. Um, you can do that by practicing a deep belly breath, and that's where when you inhale, you're directing all the air down to the bottom of your belly and slowly filling up through the sides of your ribs to the very, very top of your chest. And in reverse, exhale very slow from your chest and imagine the air breathing out through your ribs and then from the very bottom of your belly. So you can do that a couple times. Or box breathing is a great technique as well. This involves holding every stage of the breath cycle for the same count. I'm interested. Has anyone practiced box breathing before? Oh, I see a hand raised. Oh, some chat. Oh, okay, yes. I love that you're snacking. I see a couple people have tried box breathing as well. Awesome. So if you haven't tried it, we have a quick opportunity to right now. If you'd like to join, it's up to you. Make sure that you feel comfortable in your seat, of course. On your next exhale, blow everything out. And then on your inhale slow for a count of 4. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom for 1, 2, 3, 4. And take a deep breath in and sigh it out. And hopefully that helped to calm you down a little bit. Maybe even if you're not feeling stressed out, it's still a great practice. Definitely share this with your colleagues, with your friends, family, undergrads. These are really easy and accessible things that you can do even in the moments that you are feeling stressed. A couple other ideas. There is the 5 senses technique, which is a grounding technique. If you are feeling a little bit stuck thinking about the future, concentrating on your senses and what you're physically experiencing now can help bring you and bring your mind back into your present and your body. And so that is identifying things you can see, feel, hear, smell, and taste. And I'll have in the resources a poster that walks you through this exercise. And then also we have progressive muscle relaxation. I'll send a video of this in the resources. And this is where you concentrate on specific muscle groups and releasing tension in them. So you would work your way from head to toe, releasing stress. And this can also be a really nice practice right before bed. So as we mentioned, our brains love predictions, patterns, and routines because these provide a sense of stability. The brain feels safer when it knows what to expect. So creating these small moments of routine and predictability throughout the day is really important. Surely you have some already, and you can add new things or even build upon what you're doing right now. So, for instance, practice gratitude in the morning right when you wake up, or choose a consistent healthy breakfast every single day so you are sure you're getting in good nutrition. Limit news in the morning, maybe, so you don't start your day with a mental overload. Remember to take time to walk outside, take breaks from screens, and even set aside time for family and friends, but also fun. So you're filling your cup back up. Sleep well and build stress management into your routines. If you have any regular habits and routines that work really well for you already, you can go ahead and share that in the chat and maybe we can get some new ideas to try out later. So a little bit more on healthy habits. These can not only help to reduce stress, but they can also help you bounce back easier when you are feeling stressed. And to illustrate this, stress releases cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and that provides your body with energy. It's the fight or flight reaction that gets you going. So, exercise or really any form of physical activity can help you work through that energy. It can also help to release endorphins, helping your mood and sleep. And you can do anything that's fun for you. Maybe take a walk outside. If you're here in Santa Cruz, we have the beach, we have the redwoods. It's so beautiful. Anywhere you're at, I'm sure that you can find a tree to bird watch in, maybe. I see something in the chat. Limiting coffee. Ooh, that can be really helpful as well. It helps to give you energy, but maybe you've experienced a little bit too much can get you feeling a little antsy. But being hydrated also helps to give you extra energy too. So I love that tip. Thank you. For nutrition, eat plenty of vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. And this is supplying not only our bodies, but our brains with the energy and the micronutrients that it needs to function well and to process stress. Again, sleep is important. Build maybe some of these ideas into a relaxing bedtime routine. And lastly, a very, very powerful idea or a powerful method or strategy is to lean on other people because having a strong community and social connections can help to reduce stress. It allows you space to process in conversation as well. And so maybe you feel not alone in what you're experiencing. I know sometimes we can feel that we don't want to bother someone else or burden someone else with what we're going through. But if you would be there for your friend or family, chances are they would be happy to be there for you too. And you can always open up the conversation with saying something like, I'm feeling a little bit stressed out. If you have the space, can I talk it out with you? And then that gives them another layer of being able to assure you if the conversation, if you can go on with the conversation or not. But also, additionally, spending time with friends and family and people that you enjoy can boost your mood because you're having fun, maybe talking about positive things in your lives and sharing laughs. Such a good medicine for stress relief. There are many resources also that you might want to check out. All UC health insurance plans have mental health benefits. Maybe even your insurance might have access to wellness resources like classes or different phone apps, maybe even discounts to things like gym memberships or workout equipment. UC Santa Cruz also has the Employee Assistance Program from ConPsych, which provides short-term counseling for employees, but also anyone in their households. But it also provides other assistance like finding childcare or elder care or even planning vacations. There's a webinar. It's really cool. I'll send that out too. And additionally, there's wellness coaching through On the Margins, where you can help fit these new ideas into your routine if you'd like that. There's also many apps that are geared towards stress management as well. All of these Insight Timer, Calm, Headspace, Happify, they have meditation, they have mindfulness. Some of them have calming music and ideas to sleep better, and have different exercises and games to help boost mood and improve mental health. And of course, there's also a lot of apps to support healthy habits like free workouts online, recipes, journaling, ideas. There's so many more as well. Oh, and if you have any resources that you do enjoy, let us know too. Finally, we are wrapping up here. It's time to figure out the things that you are intrigued by, that you want to try out. But also, I'd like to pose this next question of where does it live in your routine? So all of our stuff in the kitchen has its own place. Fitting stress management into routine in its own place can be really impactful and create that structure for your brain and also space to practice. And as you try these things in moments that do feel a little bit calmer, that makes them more effective when you pull them out of your back pocket when things start to get a little bit more hectic. So we're right about time. Thank you so much for joining. The follow-up session is in 2 weeks on Monday, March 9th. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. Thank you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.